Um, Greg, do you actually want to just give a quick update on the latest with the marketplace specifically?
Yeah. So at the beginning of this week, we opened up the testing of the marketplace to all the alpha testers. There's like a little over 150 people in the that have the alpha testers role. Stefan actually has been providing a ton of feedback, and the
Nice.
marketplace is looking better every day. I'm been working with the Node Fleet team all through the day, all week, and they have been cranking out a bunch of updates. For those of you who are alpha testers, uh, they pushed a bunch of updates this morning, and so you'll see a bunch of changes since even yesterday. So the marketplace is moving quickly at this point. We had some things that are going to be long-term fixes that have been temporary fixed to get the marketplace going. But in the future, as they get permanent fixed, nobody should see any impact. We're just doing front end like patches until we get the back end stuff solidified. Because the problem is we have to coordinate with the people doing the smart contracts, the people working on the chain, the people working on the indexer, the
Yep,
people
yep.
working on the marketplace, and the passage team all at once, and it's like trying to push a glacier.
Yeah, and there's definitely some technical debt in terms of like how we set up smart contracts in the very beginning, and then decisions we made when migrating to the passage chain from Juno, things like that, where we'll get like some of the processes more clean, so it's easier. The real like shift will just be like there's going to be some things we need to clean up as we start onboarding more and more collections. We'll set more thorough standards and things like that. But then there might be some things we've got to clean up on the like legacy smart contracts for Strange Clan and stuff like that that just are inconsistent in how they're displayed on the marketplace. So there's like Greg said, a temporary front end fix to sort the categories because they're just labeled or tagged differently on the smart contract than the way we would do going forward, just based off of what we've learned and things like that. So it'll all come together, but like Greg said, practically speaking, it shouldn't be something anybody runs into. Just stuff we've got to work on the back end. Sweet. That's awesome. Yeah, I've been seeing all of those conversations moving forward at a heavy clip. We've got tons of both Telegram and Discord messages going back and forth. So really appreciate the time you've put into that and everybody who's been dropping feedback in the alpha chat as well. So well
Nice.
done. And yeah, just excited to see how quickly the Node Fleet team has pulled stuff around. So that is exciting as well. This is obviously like a big central point for the blockchain because this is where we're going to see all the pieces coming together. We've already seen that happening to some degree with the in the closed beta, where you can now buy a passage NFT. I just did this in our recent GM Tidings, where went and bought the Samurai NFT off the marketplace, and then was able to wear that NFT inside Passage live during our community hangout. Um, that whole workflow is going to be really exciting, especially once people can start setting up their own collections. So, looking forward to launching new collections on the updated marketplace and just being able to have that full blockchain to platform cycle ironed out as we get through more of this. Sweet. What what else should we talk through? I mean, there's obviously a lot of stuff going on with the marketplace right now. Um, I think the other big thing, so some of the pieces that are coming together right now, Ryan has been talking with James and his team. James, if you want to jump up even and just speak to some of the stuff on the, just feel free to raise your hand if you want to jump in. But James has been working on the NFT staking interface as well as the interface for launching new NFT collections on the Passage Marketplace. And I know Ryan's been going back and forth with him on a bunch of different pieces for that, such that we will have a test net set up because I know there's some things that they are basically ready to run through the test net. We're getting really close, and Mike is setting that up as we speak, so we'll actually be able to test out some of those features live in testnet. That'll be one of the next steps in this whole testing process for the marketplace. We'll be testing the NFT staking front end and the collection creation front end as well. So very excited for that. Those are going to be obviously huge as we look to onboard some of the new collections launching on Passage, as well as any of the creators on Passage who might want to launch some type of asset for gating their experience or gating different customizations. So yeah, I'll pull you up, James. There you go. How's it going, brother?
Hey everyone, Jam. I'm Coolx. How you doing?
Doing good, brother. Just hustling.
Yeah, I feel you. So based on what we have been working so far, right? We are done with the implementation of the UI design for the staking front end. So currently on the NFT creation portal, right? The backend that is needed, we are done with that. We are currently in the process of finalizing and implementing the UI. There's a UI design that is on the Figma board. Afterwards, we'll wait when other requirements from Mike and you guys comes in. We'll start integrating.
Beautiful. That's awesome. Yeah, and for those who have not seen, I can share. Let me see here. Make sure I'm on the right thing in the Figma. I'll share this. And these are just, let me see here. Where am I at? Okay, yeah, cool. So this is the whole, staking front end. This will integrate with, the rest of the marketplace. And this would be the process of both creating staked collections, so like creating a vault for staking, as well as being able to interact, to be able to stake the NFTs, the front end for actually staking them. So a lot of really cool stuff here. I don't know if we've shared this in the past, but the designs are beautiful, very thorough. We've got a bunch of really cool pieces here for all the steps you would need to withdraw funds from a staked NFT, to create staked collections. It'll be really, really exciting. So, and this obviously flows perfectly with the existing marketplace design. It's going to be really, really nice interface to have, and excited to see this in testnet.
The question in the chat of what the staking of the NFTs is for. So there's going to be egg staking with characters to hatch the eggs into pets and mounts.
Yeah, so right now it's a general purpose feature that anyone can use who's launching an NFT on the Passage chain. It could be whatever you want it to be, right? But the Strange Clan community specifically will be having a staking mechanism where you can earn a. The idea is that, yeah, you'll be earning a token that you can use to. We'll talk through like very specific mechanics, but you'll lock up the NFT. And the current idea, based off the functionality of the NFT vault mechanism, is that you can earn basically an arbitrary, CW20 token that you can then use to upgrade your egg or things like that to get a better chance at hatching a rare NFT, a rare companion or mount of some kind, right? So the exact mechanics will be, forthcoming. But that's basically the mechanism that we need to be able to lock up the NFTs and earn something that allows you to get a better chance at hatching those rare mounts and companions. But then anybody can use this however they want for, the collections in general. Like if they want to launch an NFT that they want to put, some token into the contract, then it can just the functionality in general will allow you to emit the tokens at a certain rate to anybody who's staking those NFTs. So yeah, it'll be a cool setup for anyone to kind of gamify or incentivize in a lot of different ways. And you'll be able to, withdraw those tokens, whatever it might be. Obviously, we got Passage here, but it could be other tokens, right? It could be a CW20 token or an IBC token. The updates to the marketplace, that's obviously the biggest item. We have some long-term, just optimizations we'll be making. We're testing updates to the marketplace now. NFT staking front end and NFT collection creation front end is going to testnet, so we can test that as well. What are the other big pieces? I think that's the high level stuff. Any questions people have? Oh, why CW20 tokens and not token refactoring tokens? I'm not smart enough to know the difference. Tangier, do you want to jump up and... I don't know that we couldn't do token factory. That was just me using a generic example. Oh, okay, cool. Totally fair. He says there's a lot of noise where he is. Yeah, totally. We can talk through that. And as far as I know, I don't know that we couldn't do token factory tokens in the current implementation of the smart contracts. And I mean, shoot, in the future, as we integrate, elements from like Eureka Highway, for instance, from the hub, like, why not any token, right? Like, we'll definitely be implementing more cross-chain features. Oh, that is another thing that's moving forward as well that we've been working with. And I believe everything is ready for once we make this large update to the marketplace. I think we are also ready to push forward the purchasing assets in Atom tokens. And part of what that allows us to do is we'll be working towards, there's some collections that want to launch on the Passage marketplace to do customizations for like communities, even like the Neo Tokyo community, being able to launch customizations for their community that's unique to them. And so being able to basically leverage EVM or EVM based tokens to buy assets on the Passage marketplace via Eureka or Highway gives us a really cool on-ramp for any kind of token to purchase assets. And it could be, from oh yeah, I've got you now. It could be from EVM to Passage tokens, EVM to Atom. What was that?
What'd you say, Ryan?
Right. Can you hear me, Ryan?
Ryan, can you hear Lex? Can you hear either of us?
Yeah. Point being, more interoperability is the way that we're going. So, good question. And now I'm learning more about Token Factory.
I just figured I'd throw it in there just so that people were aware of the differences since we were talking about it.
Perfect. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Now I've got homework to do. Sweet. Okay, I think that's all we got, unless there's any other questions.
Looks like somebody's typing. Give them a second.
Yep. I'll hang tight here. What does that mean, natively integrated into bank module? Like it's just not reliant on a separate smart contract?
Yeah, I
It's like
think that.
directly built into the chain.
Yeah, I believe so.
Cool. Yeah, because I'm like, this makes sense to me. Like the same way that like native tokens don't operate the same way that CW20 smart contract tokens do. But I maybe I'm not like, uh, oh, okay, interesting. So I guess this gets into more of like require specific conversion contracts for IBC with the CW20, but the token factory tokens are IBC compatible out of the box. So yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, I don't,
Guys,
yo, we got you.
sorry,
Go ahead.
I'm very late. I was totally deep into something in Unreal and did not remember that it started. Apologies.
No, you're good. You're totally good. We've covered a lot. So we talked through. Greg was talking through the current state of the conversation with NodeFleet and the updates they've been making based off of the feedback from the alpha testers. We talked through. James gave a brief update on the state of the NFT staking front end and the NFT creation front end, and that we're setting up a test net for that. Then yeah, it was a big thing. And then briefly touched on that I believe we're essentially ready to integrate the Atom purchasing elements into the front end once we have the latest ready to go from NoFleet.
Yeah, we need to set up the relayer at the same time. We need to get the test up. So basically, we need to get a couple testing things up for those features.
Sweet.
But Anthony's largely done. And then the chain upgrade is complete as well. I know Brianna wanted me to mention that.
Sweet.
With the, I don't know how deep Greg got into the marketplace front end, but right now we're looking into the issues with the minting page, just with some weird logic that is in the smart contracts that took us a while to get to the bottom of, but we found the root problem of it finally. So we are now just figuring out the best solution. There's a very easy short-term solution that would take 5 minutes and we can totally do. But there's also like the long-term, how does this work properly solution that, especially as we start opening up to more collections, the short-term solution doesn't really work for that. So we need to, we're trying to zero in on that issue and get a solve in place. But it's basically there was a lazy piece of math done in the original smart contract instead of a proper piece of math done. And so now we need to get away from the lazy version and do it right.
Yeah, 100%. And that's something where I said, like, we can have a front end, fix for now, and then over time, standardize those legacy smart contracts so that everything makes more sense.
And the reality is that this issue doesn't affect too much in terms of like current functionality. It just affects any collections that aren't minted out. So the avatar assets, the world building assets, and Kira would be affected. But it's really just we need to just supply a number for the actual total number of NFTs in each collection. Which so it's 5 numbers that we have to give to Adrian, and I see he's in here as well. So he's been so helpful in getting us the information we need, and helping to collaborate with us to give a solve, and also helping to figure out what our options are. So thank you, Adrian. I know that you've been, and Greg as well. Both of them have been working super closely together on this, and I know Mike and I are trying to support as needed and as we can, but those two are really kind of carrying this forward. So
heck yeah,
really, very much appreciate that.
Sweet. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Lots of big things moving forward on the marketplace open source development. And for what it's worth, we're also I believe an email is going out today to onboard another large batch of users into the platform. So
I think the email is going out letting them know that they will be onboarded early next week.
Tuesday.
We're purposely waiting for Tuesday of next week, because when we onboarded the first batch, we made we don't like to do things on Mondays or Fridays. But we made the mistake of doing it on a Thursday, which still meant that by the time some people got onto the platform, it was the weekend, and that caused issues. And so we're ready to bring them on. We just don't want to do it ahead of a holiday weekend because that would mean there's even more time where they can't reach us, and we're setting up the mods for dealing with the influx of people who might be having issues because it's their first time
Right.
using it. So we want to make sure we're present. So we'll be doing it early next week.
Yep. 100%.
And then we're finishing up the functionality for emotes, which we're going to have the ability to do custom emotes in World, which will be yet another marketplace element that can exist and is also going to be, it'll be fun because it's also, if somebody wants to do emotes, they don't need to know anything about Unreal. They don't need to know anything 3D. Like, this also opens up to traditional 2D artists contributing to the marketplace in a fun, interesting way. So users will be able to go into the world and select from their available emotes what they want their hotkeys to do, and then they'll be able to hit their hotkeys to emote. Everybody can see it. Fun stuff. And then we will also soon be pursuing world NFTs, which is kind of the opposite end of the spectrum, but it will allow people who want to just build Passage worlds and then make those available as NFTs, so you can purchase it, and then it would be available in your dashboard to launch worlds with. We're also going to be working on that. That one is actually quite easy to implement. So that's going to be pretty exciting. So we're looking to open up opportunities for people at kind of different levels and different understandings of Passage and our unique tech stack to contribute to the marketplace, as well as giving both event creators and event attendees different ways to interact with the market and get value from the token and from the marketplace.
Heck yeah. Yeah, excited for any way we can have those kind of like composable modular pieces where the marketplace can host the asset and the platform provides the context for it. Sweet. That's all I got. Any other questions?
Just wanted to apologize again for being late. I'm very sorry about that. But it sounds like you guys were able to cover everything.
Nice. Oh yeah, and Crunch said that native denominations are supported, so it will work with Token Factory. That's awesome. Awesome. Sweet. Okay, go team go. Really appreciate everybody jumping in. Really appreciate everyone, like Ryan said, who's been hustling, contributing on these different pieces. You guys are killing it. I want you to see just how these pieces are coming together. It's been a lot of fun testing this stuff out in the GM Tidings. We have some more teams that we're collaborating with that'll be using this. Like, you'll just get to see more of this. Obviously, we're bringing in more users, so you get to see more of your work in action with the increased user base of Passage. But also, we've got some community teams that we're bringing in who will be jumping into Passage, using more of this stuff, and just ways where you can see your work actually play out. So excited to see this live and running as each of these pieces comes together. Go team go. Really appreciate everyone's hustle. And just tuning in for the updates too. I will see you guys on the flippity flop. Peace.